Yours truly, Gentleman Nelson. Choose a family affair.
Good evening. Good evening. Thank you for joining us for another episode of Check That Post podcast. I'm your host, Jen, and it's just me solo tonight because my co-host, one of them is taking care of her family, and the other one is on vacation, so I'm all you got. I'm going to make this short and sweet. Tonight's topic is about being an enabler. And if you don't quite understand what that means, it's like if you have a situation where you know someone is doing something that's not good for them, but you kind of like helping them do it anyway, in a sense. I have a Dear Jen letter that I'm going to read and kind of lead off of that a little bit. Dear Jen, I apologize in advance for the long letter, but I really need your advice. I have a 30-year-old son who lives with me, and I'm ready for him to go. Don't misunderstand me. I love him dearly, but he refuses to get a job or help with the household chores. I work a full-time job, and by the time I get home, I expect dinner to be done and a clean house. Is it too much to ask for? Girl, I know what you mean. I know that I have made him comfortable by providing everything he needs while he goes out and live his best life, dating a different woman every month, but enough is enough. How do I break free of the guilt that I have when he asks me for help and I say no? Signed, Anonymous. Well, first of all, if he's 30 years old, surely he should be able to take care of his own life outside of you. But just in case he's not, I would encourage him. You're doing the right thing by, encourage him to get a job, to get a life, and you don't have to be mean and nasty about it, but just, when kids are growing up and you're raising them, you should be teaching them to be independent, so to speak. But it's harder for others than it is for some. If you can set them up with the tools to eventually, they're going to leave your home and live their own life, just start out teaching them what it's like to be a grown-up, an adult. Teach them about getting different skill sets, getting a good education, because that's needed. Just try not to encourage the bad behavior. First of all, you can say no. It's okay to say no. That doesn't mean that you don't love them. That doesn't mean that you're not going to help them when they need help. It just means you're setting a boundary. And it depends on what it is. Like if someone's have a issue with, say, drug abuse, and they keep coming to you asking you for money to purchase their drugs or alcohol, then you keep giving it to them, then in a sense you're enabling that behavior. You're enabling them to continue to have an issue with drugs and alcohol. Instead of seeking help, they may have to go away somewhere to get that help that they need. Just tell them no. Say, no, I can no longer do it. Stay strong. And then that way that'll break that tie. And then, you can break away from being enabling them in that type of behavior. There are ways as well as on that point to be an enabler, like say for instance somebody want to go to a different school or college, and you can encourage them to go for that dream and enable them in that sense. That's in a positive sense, to grow and go for what they want to go for. Like say for instance somebody want to do hair or go to cosmetology school, then you can encourage them to do those things. Or that's been an enabler in a good sense, because there's nothing wrong with having that skill set. But also as well, you recognize the behavior and acknowledge their patterns that you've been a part of, and understand their impact. Set boundaries, as I said, establish clear boundaries and stick to them. Might be hard at first, but you can do it. Let them know that you're no longer gonna encourage that behavior or be a part of that behavior. Encourage responsibility as well. Encourage them to take responsibility for their actions, or they will face consequences. Because usually if you give them consequences for their actions, then that'll kind of make them hesitate. Usually you can seek support, talk to somebody, talk to a therapist, talk to family members. It's been my experience as far as enabling someone, what you allow will continue. And it doesn't matter what the situation is. If someone keep coming to you and coming to you and coming to you, you got to, at some point, stand your ground and say, no more, I'm done. And, that would kind of shut that down. Or they'll hesitate before they come again, because if you say no, then usually they're going to go around you and go to another family member, and everybody can come together and just cut that behavior off. Usually then that'll make them go a different route, so to speak. You focus on self-care, take care of yourself. That's crucial. It's a process. It's not going to happen overnight. But if I can use some examples from what I've done. I raised my children to be independent in a sense, and I led by example, first of all. They saw me working. I was always working. I was always taking care of things, paying bills. So by them seeing how I hustled and took care of my end of what I'm supposed to take care of, then that made them know that, if you work hard, then, you can accomplish some things, instead of just taking the easy way out. And they do, they hustle and they get, they do what they have to do. But if you're always taking care, and especially if they're at the age where they should be, taking care of themselves, if you're always taking care of whatever the issue is and never letting them take care of anything themselves, what's going to happen when you're no longer here? It's your responsibility to prepare them for when you're not here. If you're always taking care of it, how are they going to learn? How are they going to know how to take care of themselves first? And if they're already grown, it's not too many people that's going to, once you're gone, take over that responsibility. Like, because they're going to be like, you grown. And then they're going to be left out not knowing which way to turn, what way to go. So when you enable a adult, and I'm talking about a healthy adult, That's of the mindset and mind frame that they can work or get a skill set or go to school, that they can be independent and take care of themselves. Not talking about somebody that's have special needs or that is unable to take care of themselves. We're not talking about that, because that's a different circumstance. But when you bodily able adult, then yeah, you need to be taking care of adult things, which means providing for yourself, your needs. Even if you don't have a roof of your own, then and you stand with your parents, help out with your parents, because they get older, they get tired. Like they've done their job, they've raised you. So if you're staying there, it's not going to hurt you to help them out. That way, because as we get older, and I'm talking about me, as we get older, it get harder for us to continue to do that hustling like we used to and work that hard. So once we've raised you, then, it's nice to be like, Mom, I got it. You can just chill tonight. I'll take care of dinner. Or, if you're living there, I don't see nothing wrong with it. Or help them pay the bills, and especially if it's the son and the mother. Because, you know how boys feel about their mom. So, it won't hurt. That's all I'm going to say on that. I'm getting the side eye. Okay, remember to break free of enabling behavior. It is a process and it takes time as well as effort. It's not always easy, but it is essential for personal growth. Another situation that I can speak on from experience is when I guess my pet peeve is the money situation. If you're working hard and your adult child is not pulling his weight, but he's always constantly asking you for a handout, that's a pet peeve of mine. I had to go through that phase for a little bit. And then I had to set a boundary, and I had to stand up and say, no more. I don't have it. But if you need it, I'm there for you. And I'll tell mine all the time, I can feed you. I can't do that else, but I can feed you. You can get a meal anytime. But for money, you got to get out there and get it. But if they needed it, and I saw that there was a need for it, then, I'm always there for them. But as far as being an enabler, there's a point that it's just got to be cut off. Because if it's not, then they'll be drowning and then they'll pull you down with them. So to keep that from happening, there's got to be boundaries set. You just have to just say no. As far as enabling, I say, I had a question about how do you stop a situation where you're living with someone and they're constantly depending on you to make things okay for them when they know it's not okay. Case in point, if someone is like talking down to you and just giving you a hard time unnecessarily because it makes them feel good, then no, we're not doing that. You got the right to say, no, I'm not taking that. I wouldn't call that enabling, I guess. I would call that standing up for yourself. That's what I would call it. And it's okay to do that. So I didn't really have a whole lot to go into today because I'm solo, but I'm trying to work on my consistency. So I said I was going to come on tonight, and here I am. I hope my co-host Marjorie get the feeling better, her and her family. We're praying for you, girl. And as for my daughter, Christina, she's on vacation, so that's why she's not with us tonight. But I kind of stumbled through that, but, I just wanted to just show my face. And like I say, I'm working on consistency. So join us for the next episode. We're not going to quit. We're not going to stop. Can't stop, won't stop. But I really am learning a lot about what it is to have a podcast. We didn't just start doing this. We've been doing it, and I'm just not a techie person, just having a transparent moment. But I'm learning, and we're going to do this. We are doing this. So we hope y'all continue to tune in and check us out. And let us know in the comments what you want to hear, what you want to talk about, or want us to talk about. Or if you have any questions about anything. Or, we're here every Thursday, this time 7:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. Yeah, and write a Dear Jen letter at checkthatpostpod@gmail.com if you have something you want to talk about, but you want to remain anonymous, or text us at 866-311-2251. We'd love to hear from you. And y'all have a good evening.
Yours truly, Gentleman Nelson. Yo, the family affair.